Hi there. My children are all homesick today, and one of my kids is really sick. He's in the other room sleeping. He's got a fever. Anyway, I am making chicken soup, and I decided that, hey, you know what? I should make a video and show you what I've decided to do. Here we go. I've already got it going. I've got a whole chicken that I took out the insides and removed quite a bit of the skin. I took the skin off of the back and breast and took off as much as possible. Also took off any bits of fat and stuff. And then I cut off the leg portions and hold on, Elizabeth. And then I put it in a pot, a big pot, and covered it with water. I also should mention that I also added the neck. So the neck and a whole chicken is in here. I took out obviously the liver and the heart. Anyway, and so now what I have is I've got the chicken on the pot. What I did was I put it in the pot and I covered it with cold water, and then I put it over a medium-low heat and I let the water come up. Now it's finally to a very slow boil, but it's happened really slowly. It's been over an hour. And as it's been coming to temperature and as the water has heated up, things started floating to the surface. So I also have, you can see, I have some cheesecloth, and I wrapped one of my, I don't know, it's like a colander with a handle, and I covered it in some cheesecloth, and I have been gently every so often skimming off the top anything that is floating to the surface, what we call the scum, or at least that's what I call it. And I've slowly been skimming that away and skimming off those impurities basically. And so I'm going to continue to cook down this chicken. I also have removed the breasts. You see that? They're cooked through, and instead of continuing to have that white meat in there and having it cook and cook and cook and it's going to get super, super dry, I've decided to remove it. And you know what I'm really trying to do is cook this down, draw out the things that make chicken stock really chicken stock, which is the bones and the stuff that we usually don't eat. And then the meat gets cooked in the meantime. And I'm going to continue to share with you this process. So we're just in the very beginning stages. The next step will be to add a bouquet garni. And when I do that, I will share it with you. All right. So I've pretty much come down to not needing to skim much anymore. I've skimmed 4 times the impurities and the yucky stuff that comes to the top, and the water is very slowly boiling, but not much is coming up anymore. So now it's time to add my onion and my bouquet garni, which is this right here, which is hearts of celery. So, you know, those little pieces in the middle with the leaves. Parsley, a bay leaf, and some thyme. So I put it in some cheesecloth, and I'm going to put it right in there. And then I have a little bit of onion, and I'm just gonna throw it in there. And this is all for flavor. It's all gonna come out. Not gonna eat the onion, not gonna eat the stuff that's in that cheesecloth. It's just gonna impart a lot of flavor into the stock, which is what I'm making. I'm making a chicken stock, which will be the base for the delicious chicken soup. So, and also I put a few onion skins in there, if you can see, because onion skins also impart a lot of good flavor into stocks. So now I'm just going to keep this at a very low boil. I'm going to cover it and let it cook down. So now the name of the game is allowing the water to cook down for the flavors to concentrate. And then once that is finished, which will take a couple of hours, then I will strain it and take out the chicken that I have in there. When it's cooled, I'm going to take off the edible chicken meat and then put it back into the stock that we've made, and then flavor it and add veggies, and then it'll be ready to go. All right, I will share that with you when the time is ready. So this is about the boil that you want on your stock. It's a very gentle, slow, rolling boil. And I have it over medium-low heat. Now, yeah, low to medium-low. You have to know your stove, really. But I just wanted to show you that because I think sometimes it's hard to know what, you know, a low boil means. That's what I'm talking about when you're making the stock. And by the way, this has been cooking for almost 2 hours. So it's almost ready to strain out the meat and all of the veggies and then finish up my soup. Okay. So I have finally turned off the heat on my stock and it has reduced by about half. And so now I'm just getting all the different stuff out of there. I'm gonna get the chicken out. It's falling apart a lot, so I'm getting as much as I can. I'll show you. So there's my chicken and I'm gonna let it cool, obviously, and then I'm gonna pick out the meat out of there that I'll put back into the soup. And now I'm using this little nifty tool to strain out the other stuff, the garni, bouquet garni, and there's like bits of bone and stuff and gristle that you obviously don't want to eat. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to leave the stock to sit and cool, let the fat rise to the top, and then I'm going to skim off the fat before I start putting together the actual finished product. Okay. One more thing that I need to show you that I do before I start putting the chicken soup together is I strain out the rest of the stuff that is in the stock liquid that I've made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally pour this liquid into a smaller pot, and inside the pot is a colander lined with cheesecloth. Let me just show you. And what that cheesecloth does for me, and it's inside a fine mesh colander, is that it just helps to separate any of the little tiny bits that have come off the chicken, so that it's not a part of my finished stock. So I'm gonna just, or not my stock, my soup. So I'm just going to, there you go. So it's hot. When it's been on the stove for 3 hours, at least, maybe 4 hours. There you go. So I'm just going to pour this right into the smaller bowl. I will tell you that this cooked down a lot. So I might even add a little bit of water, or maybe I have organic chicken broth in my pantry, so I may add that if I really need to make more soup. But this is a really good base for a homemade chicken soup. It really gets all of the nutrients out of a fresh chicken, and I don't know, there's just something about homemade chicken soup. So all right, and then you just take this and you lift it up out of that bowl, and now you have beautiful, beautiful chicken stock. Let me just show you what came out of this. This is a really key step. So can you see? It's not a lot, but that's some stuff that you wouldn't necessarily want in your soup. So, all right, I can't wait to show you the finished product. All right. Let me just show you this beautiful broth. That's a really nice, now there's, some say broth, some say stock. It's a beautiful brown broth. Let's just call it that. Well, or stock, I don't know. Whatever you call it, it's beautiful, it's dark, it's rich, and that's really what you're going for. All right. Hi. So clearly I've taken a shower. There's been some time since the last time I made a video, but I did separate all the stuff and had the stock sit out and cool, and I skimmed off the fat. There wasn't a lot of fat, but there was a little bit. Say hi. Hi. But so now it's time to actually make the soup. So I have turned the heat back on for the soup, excuse me, for the stock, and it's at a low boil. And I have here some chopped veggies, some onion, celery, and carrot, and I'm just going to dump that in. Yes, carrot. You can pick them out. So I'm going to put that in. Shh, Elizabeth. I put in the veggies and I'm gonna let them cook for like 10 minutes. It takes only about 10 minutes for them to soften. And then I have my chicken. I picked over the chicken from when I was making the stock, and I made sure that there are no bones in them, in the meat. I picked really thoroughly through. And once the veggies are soft, I will just add that chicken in to heat it up. I am going to season it with salt and pepper because it has no seasoning yet. And then I will finish off right at the end with some crushed garlic. That really helps for the chicken soup to be very potent, very sort of medicinal, and really help the person you've made the chicken soup for feel better. Garlic is amazing. And if you want to, sprinkle a little parsley on top. And one other thing, we usually have a starch in our soup, so you can do rice or pasta. We happen to like tortellini. Shush. We happen to like tortellini in our pasta, so I will have a separate pot of boiling water. I will cook my tortellini separate, and then for each bowl of soup that we ladle out, we'll put some tortellini in there before we put the soup over that. It's a really good thing to do, because otherwise when you put something like pasta or tortellini into the soup, it absorbs so much liquid you almost have no more soup left. So I suggest that you keep that separate and just add to each individual bowl. Okay, I hope you try this recipe. Let me know what you think, and yay for homemade chicken soup.